All right, everyone, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. Going to be breaking down the Monday Night Showdown here for you guys between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Let's go ahead and get into it. But first, just a quick recap from Sunday's action on the 9 to 5 write-up, which is available for 9 to 5 members. I point out that this was my favorite GPP lineup. Ended up doing pretty solid. And then the cash build that I gave out on that write-up as well ended up cashing pretty comfortably, I would say. Wish we could have got a little bit more production out of Jalen Tolbert, but that's all right. And then just looking at a little bit of a recap from yesterday's main slate. A little bit tilting. I was in first for a little bit, tied with a bunch of people again. But just this was the best lineup that I submitted with the 9 to 5 lineup builder. 16th, I'll take it. It's a little bit tilting. Felt like I probably could have won a GPP. Probably should have, just with the players I like the most, but not going to complain. I ended up winning like $40 last night. Not terrible. And then on the main slate, another basically doubled up what I put in. So solid stuff there. But now we go ahead and jump on into this game. And it is a 41 for the game total. And I think that's a little bit too high. I don't know about you guys, but that just seems pretty high. Now, I know the Jets are coming in, maybe a little bit more motivated after getting their head coach fired. But I would also blame him for some decision making. It's not like that wasn't warranted. Heck, I felt like that was the move during the game, that you would fire him during that London game. I'm like, I don't think he's going to have a job when the plane lands. And it took a while, but that ended up being true. I'm a little bit surprised at the 1-point spread of this game. I think this actually has more to say about the Bills' injuries right now. So the Bills are kind of banged up. James Cook is currently banged up. He is expected to play. And then you also have Khalil Shakir, who is not exactly projected to play. He might play, but I would say if Khalil Shakir is out, I know he's not playing a lot of snaps, but he does somewhat make the offense go, whether that be, making a first down into 2nd and 6, gaining 4 yards like that, or maybe making a 3rd and 2 a first down. He's been good at that, and especially with like maybe not giving as many snaps to like James Cook. That's kind of a replacement for the run game. So it'll be interesting to see there. But I kind of think that's why. I know the Bills haven't been playing well, and I know the Jets haven't exactly been playing well. They're both good enough teams, though, so I kind of get it. Looking at the injury report for the Jets, they're pretty much good to go. I mean, Tyler Conklin being banged up is the one worry, but he's also someone that I think we will be probably targeting in this game. I don't think we're too worried about that injury. So let's take a peek at tonight's game. And if you guys are 9 to 5 members, to get access to the NFL cheat sheet, just go to the NFL cheat sheet tab. But the time is always defaulted to the main slate. So when it's not the main slate, just clear the section and then click on the game, which is what I'm doing here. We can see kind of who's the highest projected owned players on this slate. Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers. I would say that that's warranted. I think Aaron Rodgers actually will have a pretty decent game in this game. But you also have Breece Hall in a phenomenal matchup going against the Buffalo Bills. One of the easiest matchups thus far that he's faced. I would argue the easiest matchup that he's faced thus far. He's going to continue to see about 70% of the snaps, which is what he saw last week and kind of what he's been seeing. I think he's going to have a very good game. I think we're going to see his receptions go up. I think, look at the receptions given up to the running back position by the Bills, 7.4. And so I think he's going to end up having a pretty good game. He's going to be one of the players I want to go out of my way to target, but let's just sort by value. And the way I see this is, we probably aren't going to be playing any of these guys. Xavier Gipson, is he going to play? Is Corley going to play? Probably not. I don't really see them getting snaps. Curtis Samuel is definitely interesting. If he gets playing time, he is someone we could be looking at. Let's just do this more so on the DraftKings board. I know a lot of you guys probably appreciate that a little bit more. Let's start out with the Jets. So obviously Breece Hall, I do think is someone that we want to be getting to. I'm perfectly happy to. Now the Buffalo Bills, they aren't a good defense, but they are a good defense. Like, you look at the opponent's points given up to opposing receivers, not that much. And we look at Garrett Wilson, guys, 22 targets last week. Insane. Now, you could argue that was a little bit of a detriment to the offense, but also he was like the only one that was getting open. You had Allen Lazard dropping passes again. He should have had a bigger game than he did. Aaron Rodgers really threaded in a nice touchdown to him. A lot of people are going to blame Rodgers for the loss. I see him getting a lot of hate. They clearly didn't watch that game. I know he had 2 bad picks, but that was after some bad plays by his offensive players. Like, it was one big mistake compounded from kind of those little mistakes, those drops in like 2nd down, trying to make a 3rd down conversion. And at the end of the day, he played well enough for them to win. They should have won that game. There's some poor decision makings again that led to the head coach getting fired. So I don't mind the idea of playing Aaron Rodgers. I kind of want to play Aaron Rodgers. He still had 2 touchdowns in that game. He's still been over 10 fantasy points in every single game thus far since week 1 against San Francisco. And again, guys, look at this. I mean, this is insane. People don't really realize this. And again, Buffalo's not the easiest matchup in the world either. But to go from San Francisco, Tennessee, New England, Denver, and Minnesota, and now I know Buffalo's not that good, but like literally probably the toughest matchups, especially in retrospect. Like we see a quarterback going against Denver, avoiding them. We see a quarterback going against Tennessee, avoiding them. We see a quarterback going against New England, mostly avoiding them. We see a quarterback going against San Francisco, not exactly appealing, especially Aaron Rodgers against San Francisco, who has been terrible against them. And then we got Aaron Rodgers traveling to London in a scenario where he hasn't excelled at. Yeah, it makes sense. Like I could talk myself more and more into this. And again, he hasn't looked bad. People have been trying to act like he's looked bad. He has not. That game last week was bad, but like good enough to win. Like they should have won. And so I'm happy to get to Aaron Rodgers again. And so I am banking on Aaron Rodgers having a good game. I just don't know if we need to exactly like go too crazy with him stacking wise. Like, yes, we probably want to get to Garrett Wilson. He's priced up accordingly, though. You got Alan Lazard there. Alan Lazard, he's playing a lot, scoring a lot, should be better. He's had some bad drops mixed in there. Don't exactly love that there from him. But then you got Tyler Conklin, who has been playing extremely well. I would argue Tyler Conklin's probably the second best Jets play that we have, given his price tag. He is someone who could end up playing in the captain spot as well. We do need to get a touchdown out of him, which hasn't really happened too much for him to really pay off. But like, look at it, guys. If we get a touchdown in one of these last 3 games, like you had a touchdown onto that, 17 points, you had a touchdown onto this 11, 20. And so like, yes, like touchdowns are kind of fluky. They're tough to predict. They're kind of random. I get that as a whole throughout the season, maybe not as much, but looking at it, guys, if he scores a touchdown at this price tag, like he somewhat will break the slate. So I do like the idea of having him in some captain builds where I have Aaron Rodgers in the lineup directly. Jets D we could get to. Braylon Allen I don't think is a terrible play. Obviously I wouldn't really play Breece Hall and Braylon Allen together. Mike Williams last week cost me a big payout on a bet slip, like $2,000. I'm still super tilted from that performance from him. But looking at it, guys, Mike Williams really not terrible, I would say. He is someone that got 4 targets last week, playing 70% of the snaps. You would assume he's going to get more and more playing time. He is someone that should be a red zone threat for Aaron Rodgers. I'm not sure why that hasn't developed just yet. Probably because they're not getting to the red zone too frequently. Again, difficult matchups for the Jets. I do expect them to play better. So I don't mind Mike Williams as well. But then let's take a peek at the Jets snap counts here. And at receiver, guys, it really does fall off. It's highly concentrated between Alan Lazard, Mike Williams, and Garrett Wilson. So we really just are heavily concentrated on who we're looking at as plays for this game. Maybe Jeremy Runkert you could get a little bit of, but I'd say that's dumb. So while we're here, let's go ahead and jump on into the Buffalo Bills snaps. And again, part of the Buffalo Bills is that we don't know exactly who's going to be active in this game. Kind of assuming Shakir is out. I'm kind of assuming James Cook is active. What I'm surprised by Shakir being out is that it didn't really lead to that much more Dalton Kincaid production. I think just naturally it made it. I mean, it did watching the film, but it didn't happen on paper necessarily. He got some targets and got some manufactured touches. And I still think that would kind of be the case in this game if Shakir's out, but we haven't seen as many 2 tight end sets as I would have guessed. Yes, we have seen Dalton Kincaid get a little bit more work, 63 and 62% of the snaps. And I think there is a direct correlation to that, but it is a little bit annoying. Looking at the receiver snaps, with Shakir out last week, we did see Curtis Samuel get a little bit more work, 56% of the snaps. We also saw MVS get a little bit more work. If you were playing MVS on the slate, you're just playing him to try to catch a lucky deep ball. Matt Collins, they kind of keep trying to make a thing, but he's not a thing. I would argue the best play that we're going to have, especially if Khalil Shakir is out, is Keon Coleman. You watch him on film and he looks like someone that is like poised to break out. It just reminds me a lot of the Kansas City offense, where kind of struggling at the start of the season to get things going. But it seems pretty evident that the rookie receiver is going to eventually get going. Last year for the Chiefs, it was Rashid Rice. This year, obviously, it's going to be Keon Coleman. I just expect that to happen. Maybe that happens in this game. I certainly want pieces to him. And then, yeah, James Cook playing 59% of the snaps. Don't exactly love that, but he's probably going to be someone that we're targeting a little bit. The biggest question is what to do with Josh Allen, who gets the toughest matchup for opposing quarterbacks. That is definitely concerning, guys. And he has been a little bit hit or miss. Really hasn't been scrambling the football as much as you would like him to in order to have that kind of big production. And so he's difficult. He is difficult because again, it is a tough matchup really for this whole offense. And so what do we want to do with that? Like James Cook, you like him scoring touchdowns has obviously led to Josh Allen not scoring touchdowns. There's a direct correlation there. The kind of issue that I have with James Cook is not consistent production in the passing game. If we could have a nice like 5-point floor from him in the passing game, that'd be great. Dalton Kincaid is someone I'm fine getting to, but really, if we get word that Shakir's out, I think we're just looking at Curtis Samuel. But if we get news that Khalil Shakir is active, then we're just looking at Khalil Shakir. Then, like, I think that's just kind of what we go with. But again, kind of given the slate that we have, I'm probably just ending up on some Keon Coleman. And we have a lot of salary left over in terms of like the captain's picks. It's kind of ugly, guys. I don't exactly like it. Dawson Knox is someone in play. Like these plays all right here are someone in play. This is going to be a kicker and DST slate. So if you guys are using the 9-to-5 lineup builder, do be putting in that rule, exactly one of the kicker or DST in all your builds, including the captain spot. Feel pretty comfortable with that. I guess the concern would be that maybe it's both. Maybe there's a kicker and DST in the GPP winning lineup. Wouldn't love that. But in terms of like giving you guys a full-fledged build, sure, whatever. Put Alan Lazard in there. I'm fine with that. That's ugly. One Bills player, don't love that, right? That's kind of ugly there. That is pretty ugly. Let's see. Man, I think it is a Breece Hall game. I just do. This is ugly. This is my first look build. I think this is solid, but I don't love it. Let's see what the 9-to-5 lineup builder spitting out to us. And as always, just need to give it 2 data points to start off of. So just going to be rounding here. So whatever. That's fine. I just want to see what it's telling us is going to be the most optimal build. Just to give you guys a good starting point as to maybe what to go off of if you disagree with the first look build I gave you guys. And so, all right. Yeah. Bills DST in the captain spot and then Jets DST mixed in with, this is not bad. Josh Allen, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and Aaron Rodgers. Is that going to be the chalk build? Probably. But not bad. But I would argue like we probably, I'm just thinking about the rules here, like settings wise. I might do at least, I'm probably going to do at most 2 of the kickers, like Tyler Bass, whatever, and then Tyler Bass again in the flex. Probably going to do at least 2 of those, at most 2 of those in all my builds. I don't think we want to get 3. Like, for example, here, this lineup right here where it has Greg Zuerlein, Jets, and Bills D, I don't love that. But look at this. This is a solid build on paper, and we're leaving salary left over on the board. Crazy slate. It's going to be fun, though, for GPPs. Maybe not the best for cash. This probably is the best cash build, and it'll probably be duped a bunch, which is annoying. But that's going to be all for this video, guys. Appreciate you being here. As you guys noticed, I am posting this video on a different YouTube channel. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe. I want to separate the DFS content and the props content, really just because YouTube is somewhat forcing me to. I know I give good content out for DFS and props. The issue is it's not the same audience. I kind of compare myself against other channels. I think I give really great picks, self pat on the bat, but I think I give out much better quality content than a lot of other people as well. And that's not like content shaming anyone, but just want to give this a try. So the 9-to-5 Golf YouTube channel is now going to become the 9-to-5 DFS channel. And then the main channel is still going to stay as the props channel and betting channel as well. Now, if you guys want access to any of the tools that you saw in this video, obviously I showed you guys the NFL DFS lineup optimizer and also the NFL DFS cheat sheet. If you guys want access to that, head on over to 9to5sports.com, get access to it for $10 a month. But when you use the promo code KEEPCASHING, get your first month off for 20%. So make that $8 or $10 membership, $8 for the first month. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to leave a like. And if you guys have any different opinions, you can leave that in the comment section below. Obviously, we're always trying to help each other out. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.